Hello, hello. How is everyone doing today? I am somehow just not able to see my notes. Hang on a second. Oh, there they are. Um, Good afternoon. It's Thursday today that I'm recording this, and I wanted to hop on with a couple of things. I wanted to hop on really with the topic of creating what you want to see in the world, and I'm going to tie this one together with an update on Matt. And I really wanted to do this sort of merging of the topic for today with what's going on with Matt for a couple of different reasons. And one is I've gotten a lot of questions and well wishes from you about Matt and his recent cancer diagnosis. And I want to respond. We did learn some information yesterday, and I want to fill you all in. Two is I want to unpack a little bit about how I have sort of addressed and processed this, because I think it will help you understand me a little bit as a person and as a coach. And three, it's possible that it may even inspire you to walk that path of partnership and to take some active steps on that path yourself. So first, I'm going to start off with giving you the scoop on Matt, and then I'm going to unpack a little bit, and then I'm going to close with talking a little bit about how this could apply to you in your life. So the scoop that we got on Matt is that he is in stage 2 of chronic lymphocytic leukemia. And what that means is that he has high lymphocyte count, but his red cells and platelets are normal. It means his liver and spleen are a little bit enlarged. It means he has lymph nodes enlarged. But he is not symptomatic. He doesn't need treatment yet, is what it means. So his bone marrow is functioning correctly. He has a positive markers. Some things are looking really good. When I look up data on the prognosis, like what's the prognosis if you have stage 2 CLL, some of that information is really scary. It says, for example, that 50% of people with stage 2 CLL die within the first 7.5 years, which for me was really sad. And a friend of mine on Facebook reached out. She's a heme oncologist. She's like, "Oh, this is early. It's not a big deal. They have good treatments." And I realized that what I'm going to unpack this in a bit, but I realized why that wasn't so reassuring, given that there's this other study that 50% of people die within the first 7 years. So I'm going to come back around to this, but I'm really excited because today I found a reason to believe that actually it could be that Matt actually could have another 20 years left, because treatments have improved to the point, and it's been such a recent improvement that it's possible he could live to be in his 70s. So that is really awesome. And I really want to unpack a lot of this in just a minute here. So basically what I'm saying at this point is Matt has stage 2 chronic lymphocytic leukemia. Some of the studies I've seen are really scary for me. I found one study that wasn't, and it makes me really excited. So I want to kind of go into this in a little bit and unpack this. So first and foremost, for a lot of people, your biggest barrier to getting married, your biggest barrier for letting someone into your life is you're afraid they're going to cheat on you. You're afraid they're going to leave you. You're afraid that you'll end up divorced. And I came to a place, thanks to my dating coach and the process that I went through with her and some of the process that I went through afterwards, that I was no longer fearing those things. I felt pretty confident that I could choose a good partner for myself, and that we would establish some processes that would allow us to cultivate our relationship in a really healthy manner over a long period of time. The problem I had was fear of death. And that's only gotten a lot worse since Matt got cancer, but it got worse when we got married and let me tell you why I have this, because I've had permanent losses in my life. I was adopted, so I had the permanent loss of my first mom. My grandmother was my primary caretaker. She passed when I was 2. My parents divorced when I was young. Currently, at my age, I have already lost my mom, my dad, my brother, my only brother, and his only daughter. So I've lost a lot of people in my life. My high school sweetheart also passed away. So lots of death in my life. And death is the thing I've been afraid of, and the thing that will sometimes make me sad, that feel pretty confident that that would be the thing that would come between me and Matt. And you never know when it's coming. And now, whoo, that cage got really rattled with the cancer diagnosis. And I want to share with you a little bit about how this sort of operates in the mind. And initially, because I have this fear of death, I was really pessimistic when I started doing research online to find out what that meant for Matt and for me and our future. When I first looked, the first studies I found led me to believe that it was possible that I could lose him within the next 18 to 24 months, which fit the story I was already making up in my head. It matched my fears. And I stopped looking for a little bit and I dove into a lot of sadness for several days because I found out this really alarming news. But then I started thinking, maybe there's something more to this. Maybe there's more to the story. So I started looking for additional information. I found that part of me that is a believer in possibility. And believing in possibility is so much better than hope, because possibility is a real thing. Possibility is a thing you can see. You see the opening that's there. Hope is like, you don't really believe it. It's like a soap bubble and you don't see how it could really happen. It's more like believing in miracles or thinking that a miracle is going to happen. And I'm not knocking people who believe in God at all, or people who believe in miracles, but hope is a little wilder and not something that's within your view. And I'm a believer in possibility because I'm a pretty action-oriented person. Life has never just fallen into my lap. Life has never been easy. I've always had to do my share. So I needed to find some possibility. And that need for possibility led me to keep looking, keep pushing, keep looking, keep pushing. And even when people were saying, oh, it's not that big of a deal, it's not acute, and the doctor yesterday said, oh, he might not need treatment for another 7 years, 7 to 10, it could be about 7 to 10 years. I was thinking, oh, the one study I read said 7 to 10 years. The one study I read said once you need treatment, it's about 2 years before you die. And I thought, that's terrible. I don't want to lose my husband in 10 years. And I realized yesterday why it was so important to me that we get 20 years or 25 years. And there's this story that when I remembered why it was, I was like, oh, I get that part of me. So I'm realizing, to come back to what this is saying, what I'm trying to really say and to really be meta about this, I'm realizing that I have a lot of parts involved. I have parts that are afraid of losing my beloved. I have parts that want to find a reason to see a future. I have parts that want to find a way that I can take part in creating a future, because I think that's the best way to predict the future, is to help create it. And I have parts that have underneath there a thing they want. They had a goal. And I want to share this story with you because it's actually sort of cute. So I don't know if you have seen Selena and Filiberto. They are an older couple that did a Dirty Dancing routine, and it went viral on TikTok years ago. I saw it on Facebook, and I saw it when Matt and I were in the first couple months of dating. And it's this, like, he is the Filiberto is just grinding all up on Selena, and it's awesome. And I texted this to Matt. I'm like, can you dance like this? And he said, no, but I'm going to learn how, and we're going to dance like that on our 25-year anniversary. And at this point, we were only dating for a couple of months. He knew that I wanted to get married, but the topic of marriage as pertains to the two of us had not been broached. So this was like a delight for me, and it made me think about our 25-year anniversary. And I really, A, do want to dance like Selena and Filiberto, but B, I want to have a 25-year anniversary. And the idea that we would have this love for 25 years and celebrate that anniversary was huge and meaningful for me. So when I realized I had a part that was really invested in this, and a part that really wanted to do everything possible to have that for so many reasons, I went back to the drawing board to see, can I find possibility? Can I find real possibility that Matt could be alive for a 25-year anniversary? So I realized what I was looking for was life expectancy, number of years. I was looking for something else and I found it. I found a study done in the Netherlands that showed that men in particular, who were diagnosed in their 50s could expect to live another 15 to 20 years. So really good study, and that life expectancy has been steadily increasing every year since 2006. So the treatments for CLL have been like really rapidly advancing, and every year they get better and better. So every year the life expectancy is getting longer and longer. I have a lot of reason to be hopeful and a lot of possibility to maximize. Now, there are a few things that we have to do to make sure that he has the best possible outcome, and we can do those things. So reducing stress. I happen to be a mindfulness trainer, so we can work on mindfulness together. And then recognizing that he's immune compromised and taking appropriate precautions, masking up when we're in large crowds, for example, because he is immune compromised. So really navigating those possibilities. And this is all that led me to do this internet search and to persist and keep going and keep going. And I want this to tell you one thing above all, which is I walk my talk. And this is me as a person, and this is me as a coach. And I don't walk it perfectly, but I walk it. I have parts. I work with my parts, and I am committed to being as self-led as possible and to recognizing the parts that are in my own system and nurturing those parts as well. And because I devote a lot of my time and energy to learning all the different ways that I can get back to self-energy and to learning more about my own part system, I can help my clients become self-led as well. And that's an important thing. So I am currently, earlier today, was in a day of training for IFS level 1. So that is a really important thing to know, is that I am walking my talk and I teach other people to walk this path as well. The second thing is, and this is really important for you, just as the take-home message, my internet search on CLL outcome and prognosis is a really great example of how mindset and belief impact our ability to process and interpret data when we're out there looking online. We tend to select data that confirms what we already believe. And once we find it, we quit looking. So this is super important for you to know about yourself, because if you're operating by a part, if you have a part that's in the lead, like I did when I was already, that fear of losing my beloved to death part was working over time, and that was doing the internet search, and it found out that I might lose him in a year and a half, and it stopped looking. If you have a part that's running your life, it's going to see data that confirms it, and it's going to stop. I just want to put out there that if when you look at this data, when you sift through this, you're not feeling calm, confident, clear, compassionate, creative, curious, or courageous, you're not in self-energy. That's a part talking, and you can get yourself to self-energy, get a different mindset, and then do that search again. Because you'll find different data, different information that will help you maintain self-energy and help you really take appropriate action. Because that's what you want to line up with, right? And this doesn't mean just because I found this data that says that's with CLL, Matt has likely still got another, 17, 20 years, 15, 20 years. That doesn't mean he will live 20 years. That means it is possible he will live 20 years. That means we're not saying, oh, well, it looks like he's going to be gone in 10. Okay, that's a different thing altogether, which brings me to my third point, possibility. Possibility is key. I am a master of possibility, and I help my clients master possibility also. And you don't have to know right now a lot of things. So I work with couples and I work with I work with women who are single and looking for partners. So if you're a single woman looking for a partner, you don't have to know where or when you're going to find your partner. You need to know it's possible. And you need to know that you have what it takes to create a pathway from where you are now to where you want to be. And I can help you with that. If you are a married couple and you're struggling in your relationship for whatever reason, you need to know it's possible that you could get clarity on your marriage and determine whether A, you have a fundamental incompatibility and need to part ways, or B, whether you just have some things to work on in yourself and in your connection, and you can stay together and become a more self-led couple. So this is really wrapping up here what I'm about and how my reaction and my internet search related to Matt's cancer kind of shows what that looks like in action for me and how I use that to help my clients. And for those of you who are just tuning in, I appreciate all of your prayers and well wishes. And I know someone is here live right now, so just cut to the chase so you don't have to watch this again. Matt does have stage 2 chronic lymphocytic leukemia. So he has lymph node involvement and spleen and liver enlargement. But because treatments are improving all the time, we have really good reason to believe that he might not need treatment for like another 7 to 10 years. And he may, because treatments are so good, actually make it another 20. So I'm really excited. And I just found that data today that we could expect 20. So that made me really happy. And that doesn't mean that it's guaranteed. It means it's possible. This illness is going to be a marathon, not a sprint. I really appreciate everybody's prayers. And I am especially asking you to pray that you get to see Matt and I do an homage to Filiberto and Selena in 21 more years. That you get to see Matt and I record a video of us dirty dancing on our 25-year anniversary, just like Filiberto and Selena. If you're interested in working together, because you also want to really work on your mindset, you want to become self-led, you want to master possibility in your own life, I have a 5-day dating reset coming up next week. Please get signed up for that. I'll pop a link into the comments below. I also have, if you want to work together in private coaching, if you want to do the mindful dating intensive, or if you are a member of a partnership and you want to get to know me a little bit better, I have a 5-day self-liberation challenge coming up in August. You and your partner are both invited to sign up, and you can check it out and see if it seems like we might be a good fit for coaching. I will put that link. I'll be talking about that next month. It's not ready yet, but I will be putting that link out in about a month, not quite a month, but it'll be at the end of August. Thirdly, I'm going to pop a link to Selena and Filiberto dancing. So y'all, if you haven't seen them yet, can check them out because it's awesome. Have a wonderful Thursday. If you haven't signed up already for the 5-day, one last thing I do want to let you know is that from now on, from this week on, the 5-day is required if you want to do the 5-day, if you want to do the mindful dating intensive. So if you've been thinking about the mindful dating intensive, this is required as a first step. I'm requiring that because it really allows you to get to know me. It allows me to get to know you and make sure we're a good fit. It also, I have noticed that the people who do the 5-day dating reset and then become my clients hit the ground running and they get the most out of it. They get the most for their money. And that's what I want for all of my clients, is for you to get exceptional value. So that will be required. Right now, it's entirely free. So if you're thinking about it, go ahead and sign up. You will eventually be on the list of people who signed up for it. So even if you're not ready to do the mindful dating intensive, if you check this off your list and you decide next year you want to do it, no harm, no foul, that'll still be there. So please get registered if working with me is something you're remotely considering. All right, that is it for me for today. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much.